Hey, how is everybody doing? I believe I am live now. That's what it says. So I'm going to start speaking. My name is Jarel. I appreciate you taking the time to hop on here for this training. It's something that's near and dear to my heart. It's what drives me on a daily basis, is connecting to people with what I've been blessed to experience in my life in totality, in my journey in general, and just seeing those connections turn into growth for myself, for my family, for my team, for those people that I'm connecting with. There's so much power in what we have to offer. There's so much power in what we can do. And what we have to offer is more than just shakes and workouts. I'm going to tell you right now, there's power in your journey. So just a little bit about me. You'll learn more as we go forward here. A little bit about me is I'm a father of three that are currently here. One in heaven, well, two in heaven, and one on the way. So that I've been through some of the most difficult times, most difficult sufferings that a parent can go through, that a son can go through, that a brother can go through. I've suffered a couple of tragedies, a couple of difficult things in my coach life, if you will. There were plenty of times where I could have taken a step back and just fallen off the face of the earth and just been done with everything. But there's power that we miss out on when we do that. So I just want to talk to you a little bit about how you can, even in difficult times, no matter the season you're in, possibly even more so in that suffering season, make some of the deepest and most profound and powerful connections with people that you never thought even possible. So first and foremost, I want to preface this and say, I'm one person. I am one coach who found something that resonated with me, that worked for me, and I applied it, and I applied it consistently. And I saw growth, and I saw connection, and I saw power. I saw change and impact. Do not take everything that I say and go, I'm going to do exactly the same thing that he did and see if it works. You have your own unique journey, your own unique experience, and you've had a unique experience that led up to you getting started. That is for a reason. It's not so you can take someone else's way of doing things and implement it identically. It's so that you can take what works or what resonates with you in your heart, on your spirit, and take that and try it in your business, in your life, and try it consistently. Nothing will work if you don't do it consistently. Let me say that. So whatever you take away from this, whatever is resonating with you, go and apply that and do so consistently, and then see what happens. So I've been a coach for a little over 6 years, and I came out of the gate super excited, ready to go, sharing what, the shake had done for me, what I saw my wife do. She had transformed in, 21-day fix and insanity. And she won that, $500 prize that they give you when you do the Beachbody Challenge. We were super excited and on fire. We saw it change my mom's life, she's actually one of my top coaches on my team. She's amazing. She's incredible. She's 68 and feeling great, in better shape than she's ever been in her whole entire life. But I digress. When you see things impact your loved ones' lives, it's hard not to be excited. So I was excited. I got people started, just nonstop. Fast forward to 3 months, I hit 1-star diamond qualifying. And then I ran into resistance. I ran into obstacles. People started dropping kind of like flies because I was just getting them started. I wasn't really coaching them. I wasn't really following up with them, seeing how they were doing, engaging with them as much as I could have. I was too busy going off and getting more people. So that was my first bit of resistance. And I continued forward, but I hadn't really recovered from that for some time. And right when I started to, I ran into the loss of He's my cousin technically, but I'm gonna tell you right now, if you knew us, that's my brother. And this loss hit me really hard, not only because we were only a year apart, but he was literally getting ready to get started with me as his coach. So he told me no for quite some time, and I would always go up to a certain point, and I didn't want to upset him. So I would, I would fall back a little bit and not really say what was on my heart to say. And it wasn't until I got just frustrated. I said, you know who I am. You know me. You know I love you. You know I care about you. This is not about sales. It's not about commissions. It's not about, me wanting you to drink the shake because it's a magical bullet. I want you healthy. I really tore into him, and I'm being nice with my words right now, but back then I was not. I tore into him, and he said, Jay, why didn't you just say that in the first place? Why didn't you say that? Why didn't you come at me like that in the first place? He's like, man, I'll get started next month. Well, next month didn't happen. He passed away the month before he was supposed to get started with me. And at that point, I told myself, I am never going to hold back again. I am never going to keep on my heart the words that I have been blessed with to say to someone who can do better, who has the potential, and who I see that potential in and believe in. And so that is the way that I moved forward. That ended up really propelling me in my business, because I stopped holding the baggage of how I was received and started saying what was on my heart. If you say what is already on your heart to say, what you've already experienced in your life, the way you've experienced it, and the things you've been blessed to learn now in your journey, when you speak that and you speak it the way that you feel it, people don't receive that bad. And it's not up to you to how they receive it in the first place. Some people might fall away, but the ones that come, that's who you're after when you share your heart in that way. And so it's so much more than just sharing your shake, sharing that sweaty selfie. There's power in those captions. And that's where you connect deeply to people. Okay, so I'm gonna try and use a little bit of my notes here because I took so many, and I always go off book on my notes because I start speaking my heart. But be encouraged, never be afraid to speak your heart, and never be afraid to go off book. Know who you're talking to. Once you have mastered speaking your heart and letting that shine beautifully in what you say and how you move, how you post, how you share, know who you're talking to. Are you talking to the version of you that you are today and are growing to tomorrow? Are you talking to this version of you that you used to be? Are you fully aware of the version of you that you used to be? Have you sat today in that person that you used to be and really channeled that? Who were you before this? How did that person feel? How did that person think? Did they feel trapped? Did they feel like there was a suffering they were in that they would never be out of? Did they feel alone? What was it? And then how did you get from that to this? What would you go back in time and say to that person? If you feel like, I don't have a transformation, I've always been relatively fit, or I don't have a transformation yet, I've only lost a couple pounds, whatever it may be. Just as sure as you wake up today from yesterday, you have transformed, and there is yet more transformation happening. So be encouraged. It's not about these massive before and afters. It's about the stuff in between those before and afters, and the experiences, the thoughts, the feelings that you have along the way. Sharing that authentically, especially in your stories, that literally is like a behind the scenes look. You've heard it many times. That's a behind the scenes look. So that's where you go and you share some of those emotions. Yeah, on my feed, you may see the picture of my before and after, but in my stories, you hear the story of how I struggled today, how I woke up feeling sad. There's days where you just wake up feeling sad. I've experienced a great deal of loss in my life, Going to the next, there are these different access points that happened in my coach career, and they literally I'm back, y'all. Can't keep me down. Listen, I literally just was saying that just as sure as you try to rise to a new access point, just as sure as you try to get to whatever it is, just as sure as you proclaim it and you profess it, you will be met with resistance. I literally was just met with resistance in saying it. It's proof. It's proof, but I'm here for it. Be ready for the resistance. You're stronger than it. Listen, so there were these different access points. There were these different pivotal moments in my own life that I could choose whether or not I was going to let them lead to things that honored those struggles and built things, or whether I let it lead me to sort of dishonor those seasons of life and lead to destruction. And I had been down that path before, and I said, I'm not going to let it be something that leads to destruction. So for us, fast forward to 2019, just as sure as I said, I'm going to be 2-star, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, we were met with that diagnosis of our son with anencephaly. And I don't know how far, I don't know if this was already said or not, so you may be getting a little bit of repeat, so I apologize for that. But hang in there. So we were really met with the struggle there. Wow, these messages are going off. Let me exit that. Sorry about that. So we were met with a really difficult season of life, learning that our son was diagnosed with anencephaly, which is a terminal diagnosis. 70% of the babies that are born are stillborn when they're born with anencephaly, and it was a really difficult season for us. So while I did step back a little, I did not fall off of doing our workouts and things of that sort, and leaning into the community aspect. So much power in this community, and how we band together and how we support one another and how we encourage one another through any season of life. A lot of times I think people think that we just are dancing with shakes and dancing with energize, and they think that we don't have difficult times and hard times too, but we show up still. And that's part of the transformation, is that you've transformed from this person who at the first sight of resistance, you fall off, or you fade away, or you get distracted, or you give in to that practical reason as to why you need to step back. You give in to that, and you don't no more. You don't anymore. You just don't. You believe in the power of what it is that you're doing in your journey, and you continue forward. And I think it's important to share in those difficult seasons what's possible, that there's still power, and that you're not continuing forward because you're running from something that's happening in your life. You're continuing forward in honor of that struggle, in honor of that difficulty. That's how you become unstoppable. Is that you take whatever season of life you're in, be it a hilltop moment or a valley season, you take whatever it is and you show people what's possible to still do, even in these circumstances. And that's how you connect deeply with others. Some of my most amazing business builders and people who are like family to me now are people I connected to because of our Ezra Strong group, because we created a group where we said that in seeing Ezra's life, he was born alive, by the way. We got to be blessed with his life for 4 days. And that was a joy. That was a joy, and such a great blessing. And if you know me, you will know Ezra Jude. His legacy will continue to live on. His legacy lives on not just in me, but in anyone that I've been blessed to connect to as a result. And some of the people on our Faith Over Fear fam team are those people. And they were also in difficult, chaotic, or suffering seasons. And that was where we connected. And that's how you connect deeply. do not be afraid to share those hard feelings you have, those things that you think won't lift anybody. When you share that you're in a difficult season, but that you're still showing up, but that you're still here, and that you had a moment in a workout where you could have given up, but then you thought about, and this has happened to me, I thought about Ezra, and I thought about other people who don't have the blessing of being able to improve their prognosis, their health with workouts or nutrition. Gosh, it just made me power through in honor of them. When you get to share like that, it's more than just that before and after. There's so much power in the season you are in now. Do not wait to share that struggle and that triumph as you continue forward. So, and always know who you're talking to. You got to know who you're talking to. If you're talking to someone who maybe you're in a financial struggle right now, and maybe this is like the one source that you have, maybe this has been the saving grace. Like, if I did not have this business, I would not be okay financially right now. That's talking to business builders. That's talking to people who want to change their health and their wellness, but also business builders. It varies. It varies. And so when you share in your transformation, think about the in-between of that before and after picture. All the stuff in between. Everything you've endured, everything that you've prospered through. Maybe you have not had a massive physical transformation yet, but there's a mental transformation happening every day. Those are things that you can share. There's power in that. Connection is key, and so is the depth of that connection. I always say this because I see it often. I'm not a hey girl kind of guy. Guys can't go into messages and just be like, hey girl. It does not work that way for us. So we can't, I can't do that. I had to come up with something different. And it really was just about being who I am. And hold on, I want to do this. What's up, fellas? What's up? I know y'all are out there. Every time I go into like a massive Zoom, the person leading the Zoom is like, hey ladies. And I'm like, I'm here, not a lady. So I just want to say hey to the fellas, because y'all rarely get called out like, hey fellas, hey guys, what's up? Okay. Connection is so deep and profound when you are willing to dig deep in yourself, in your own journey, sitting with the feelings that you may be afraid to feel, but those need to be explored. They need to be understood, because that's the person you're about to go out and talk to. That's the person you're about to write a post for. Is that person stuck in that feeling that you have journeyed from? So know who you're talking to and know the kind of person that you are inviting. Are you inviting a challenger? You're probably going to talk about a lot of the transformations that you've had mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and then, of course, physically. Are you talking to potential business builders? You can still talk about all those things, but there's another aspect that people aren't seeing. They don't see your team chat. Maybe you have a team. I have a team chat where there's always somebody popping a devotional in there every day. Shout out to Rosa. All right, y'all. So third time's the charm. Listen, I'm going to wrap this up and say to you that if you're someone who feels nervous about how you're received, who you're talking to, or you don't know what to post, or any of those things, I want you to really sit and reach back to the person you were. And then take a second and reach forward to the person you're becoming. Be overjoyed about that person, but be thankful for that person because they realized the potential that you have. And you today realize the potential that you have. And that's going to come from really connecting to all three phases of you. You used to be, who you are now, and who it is you're going to be. And you need to share in every freaking phase, all the in between, because that's where the power is. It isn't in these before and after pictures. It's not like someone saw that and they were like, you know, it really clicked for me when I saw so-and-so's picture. It clicks for them when they see your heart, when they feel what you've felt, and they realize that you've been where they've been, and they see possibilities in themselves through what you've journeyed through. Share that in between stuff. And if you can't really tap into it yet, just sit for a minute and do that, even if it means writing it down. But if you take anything away from this, take this. You're going to run into obstacles, as you can see here. You're going to run into obstacles. You're not going to be perfect. And that's what connects you to people, is that you're not perfect and that you have encountered obstacles. Share them and then triumph over them. The Obstacle is the Way, which is a great book. Check it out if you haven't. Make sure you understand who you're talking to when you're posting. And there's so many different ways that you can share your journey behind the scenes in your stories, in a post. If you're talking about the business, there's such genuine ways that you can share how this has changed your life, even if it's only been a few months, you know? So I'm going to stop now before this thing explodes. If you have any questions, feel free to message me. I'm only one message away. So I appreciate you taking the time to hop on all three of these videos, and I will hush now. And if you have any questions, put them in the chat. I'll just check there. But yeah, I'm available to be able to speak to. I appreciate you guys. And I look forward to seeing how you share where it is that you are to empower others to see what's possible for them. Always show up.